Light Max loading plays like he's drawn the plan. Kinetik bringing fire like he's leading the band. No matter the game, no matter the sport, we running this pod like it's fourth and short. Press start, lock in, it's game time again. You tune in live to the Sideline Show with Kinetik and Light Max. Let's go, the gamer Sideline starts now.
I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, so I don't even know what you just said, but I can't hear you. Your mic is muted.
Try this again. Take two. Let's take two. Welcome back to the Gamer's Sideline, where sports meet the sticks and stories get pixel deep. I'm your host, Mike, aka Lichmax, and with me today we have
Eric, aka Kinetik 615.
Well, we had a lot of interesting things happen this week in the realm of both gaming and football. But without further ado, welcome to Football Friday, everybody. I know this is the best time of the week that you guys look forward to every week. We're going to try to keep it between 7 and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you have this page bookmarked and hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on so you do not miss when we go live. First things first, I guess let's jump right into the gaming news for this week. We had a couple things happen. We had one announcement in the realm of football gaming, and we had one huge release that happened today. Battlefield 6 released, courtesy of EA, and it surprised me. I don't know how much I know you don't know a lot about the Battlefield and a lot of the shooter games and whatnot, except for probably what comes across your timeline. But
full disclosure, I gave up on first-person shooters a long time ago because of the toxicity of the communities.
Right, and I will say that this release has been a lot better. I don't know if you heard of the horror stories from the Battlefield 2042 release. Like how it was basically unplayable, constant crashing, constant bugs that were just like breaking the game left and right. That was a mainstay for the beta all the way up to the release of Battlefield 2042. This one, on the other hand, phenomenal work, EA. I'm going to give you your props on this one. You guys did the team behind Battlefield 6 did an amazing job with this release. Like the beta was all right. There was some bug stuff they needed to fix, but they actually released a completed game this time. I mean, there's still like a couple minor bugs, but it's not like game breaking like it was with Battlefield 2042. And for those of you who were big fans of like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, you are going to love Battlefield 6. It is definitely a return to glory for the Battlefield franchise. They brought back the like everything's destructible again, like it should have been from the get. Like in 2042, like there were things that were and things that weren't. In this one, almost everything you can blow it up, and I think that's something that needed to come back to Battlefield, because it's not Battlefield if you can't blow a hole in the wall to help a buddy out, you know.
Yeah. So what is so different from this and like other first-person shooters or previous releases that has you impressed?
What has me impressed is the fact that the release of it was smooth. Like you didn't have a bunch of major game-breaking bugs, a bunch of random crashes that just made it impossible to made it impossible to play the game. Like it was actually an enjoyable launch experience compared to like a lot of the other shooters, which usually have like a bunch of huge bugs that they don't fix for like a month, and then you have to deal with that. This one actually, it was pretty smooth. Like upon launch, like the queue to get in was pretty fast. Like at one point, I was like 118,000 in line to actually get on the game, and it only took like maybe 4 minutes or less. I really wasn't counting the time, but to actually launch the game for the first time. This was like an hour upon release, which is definitely a huge plus. Like it was just a smooth experience overall when it came to like now that they've finally launched it, like getting in, playing a game, getting into a lobby, getting into friends lobbies even. It was just a really smooth experience, comparatively speaking to like a lot of the other first person shooters. Like it was just like the best. I guess I can't say it enough. It was a smooth experience.
Sounds awesome. Well, I don't have a whole lot to contribute to this. Again, I gave up on first person shooters a long time ago. But I mean, it sounds like they're actually doing something good for the community. So I'm all for that.
Right, and as much as I want to like attest this to the acquisition that we talked about last week, that's going on right now between the UAE and some other backers and EA. This is just 100% EA. It has nothing to do with the acquisition. They have no hands on
Yeah,
this
I don't think
launch
that's
at all.
I don't think that that's going
Uh,
to have any like tangible impact on the games for probably another couple years.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see an impact until at least like maybe 2028 is probably when we'll first start seeing some tangible changes when it comes to EA releases and how things go. But I mean, speaking of like, I know you know a little bit about what's going on. Like, what are your thoughts on gaming companies going from public to private?
I like the idea of public to private. I don't know if I like the idea of like foreign countries owning gaming companies. It's really weird to me. But I like the idea of private. I think that what we saw a couple years ago from Larian Studios with Baldur's Gate 3 really kind of flipped the script a little bit that we had seen as far as like major companies putting out blockbuster games, having to do microtransactions and everything, and they were able to do what they did because they were able to put a passion for the game into it and not just a drive for profit. So
Right.
being able to take their time and make the game good in every way that they possibly could, to reach out to and get feedback from the player base and their consumer base and actually care about that stuff, giving us a feature complete game on launch and then continuing to give. I mean, we're what, over 2 years into Baldur's Gate 3 and they're still giving support and
Yeah.
fixing stuff and whatnot. So like, I think that and I bring that up because again, prior to this, I think that was the last like major release from a privately owned gaming company that wasn't beholden to investors and stockholders or shareholders. So in that regard, I like the idea of going private so you can focus on quality and not quantity and profit. I'm not 100% convinced that that's going to be the result of them going private, being sold to Saudi Arabia.
From what I have read up on and seen on the what the UAE backers have said regarding the acquisition, is it sounds like they're gonna essentially let the United States team handle the United States based games, and they're gonna have their own team work on their own games on their side. So they're gonna kind of like
Right.
have it split down the middle between like what they would consider domestic and foreign. What for us would be the other way around. We like the U.S. market would be the domestic market, and then the European UAE market would be like the foreign. So
Right.
like they're gonna, from what I understand, they're gonna split that up. So like the Battlefield, the American football games, those are all gonna be essentially handled by a separate team compared to, I mean, relatively speaking to how they do it right now. But I hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Like it's going to be a different leadership structure for the United States side than for the overseas side.
Yeah, but so there's two things to this. So first of all, I like that in theory. I believe that over the years I've seen that sort of go away. The idea is that they're going to be hands off and let the team handle stuff. but inevitably, I think that there's always going to be moments where they can't help themselves but to step in and take control or have a hand in something.
Right.
The other thing is, though, my concern is more when I say that I don't know if that's the result that's going to happen because of this this purchase or this uh, going private. I forget the term for it, but um, they've already put out a thing saying that they were going to look to include AI in different ways to be able to reduce costs and stuff going forward. That's the opposite of what I'm talking about. Like Larian put time and effort into making sure the quality was there above profit. Like they wanted to profit, and ultimately they did because of the quality of the product they put out. But their focus was on the quality and the consumer being satisfied with the product before it was about profit. And I'm worried that that's not going to be the focus with the SAE buying it, because they just spent all this money to buy out the shareholders to go private, and now they're going to want to recoup that money. So now are we going to see AI replacing like quality control, which is what is supposed to try to minimize bugs and defects and stuff by launch day. We already have a ton of bugs on every game that launches, and it goes through 30 to 60 days post launch of basically an advanced beta test with consumers. Is that going to be reduced even more because they want to save money and try to incorporate AI into it? Like, if a company's going to go private, I want to see them go the way of Larian, where they focus on the quality and the consumer and let the profit come later because of that, which it will. Like Larian showed that will happen.
Right.
But you got to be able to not give in to the greed and the anxiety of focusing on profit now. And I'm not convinced that that's going to be the way that they go with this acquisition.
And I could see them going that route for a couple years, at least until they recoup their the acquisition funds that they use to repay the backers at least. And then I could see them transitioning into like being more quality focused than like money saving focused, if that makes sense. Because like I understand, like once you spend a bunch on buying like either a piece of equipment or even like a whole company, I could see why they would want to recoup that, especially since they're using uh, essentially hedge funds, like gigantic hedge funds, essentially to buy the studio. So I mean, I kind of understand where they're coming from, wanting to save money so that way they can put that into recouping their costs of the purchase. But hopefully that's not a mainstay and that's just uh, a temporary thing. I would like to see. I would definitely like to see them continue to uh, make quality games down the line, or even like shift to making quality games. Like I will say, Battlefield 6 is a good start, even if it doesn't have anything to do with the acquisition. Battlefield 6 was definitely a good start, and I definitely give EA props for the way they handled the release and the way that they did the game. They definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. And I look forward to seeing what they do down the line. So next topic we got here is the AP25 shakeup. So we did have a kind of a shakeup in the AP poll top 25. I don't know if it happened this week or I haven't been paying enough attention to really know what actually happened, to be completely honest. But there is some interesting news that we can talk about on it. So as you well know, at the start of the year, there were two teams that were ranked number one and number two. There was uh, Ohio State, which was ranked number two or three. I don't remember exactly where it was, but but the most important thing is Texas was ranked number 1 at the start of the season. Then they dropped. Hang on, let me actually revert back to here. Let's go. So at week 2, Texas dropped to number 7. Ohio State, Penn State went 1 and 2. Then we go to week 3. Ohio State and Penn State stayed where they were, and so did Texas. Michigan's also been slowly climbing up the poll as well. I think they started unranked, right?
Who did?
No, Michigan started at 15.
Yeah, we started at, no, I think it was like 16 or something, 17.
I'm looking at week 2 right. Oh, as of week 2, we were ranked number 15.
Yeah, that was after we beat New Mexico.
Yeah. Go away. Actually, here, let me actually put this on the screen. I feel like that's a better way to do this. All right, AP top 25. So let's look at the top 25 here. Go away. So here's the week 2 rankings. Here's where we started. Or actually, we should start from preseason. Here's preseason ranking. Here's where we started here from the preseason. Texas started out number 1. Penn State started out number 2. And Ohio State started out number 3. What's important? That's the important 3 right there to keep an eye on as we shift through. Michigan, actually, I guess we started out at number 14 preseason. That was so. How did we drop after winning to New Mexico? That's crazy. But anyway, as of week 2, we ended up at 15.
Okay, so wait, are we going off of the ESPN top 25 or the AP top 25?
Isn't this it's AP top right here?
Yeah,
You have AP and you have AFCA.
okay, gotcha. Okay, I didn't know ESPN showed the AP.
Yeah, it shows the AP and theirs.
Gotcha.
Side by side. So we're just looking at this side right here.
Gotcha.
Actually, let me blow it up. So, yes, I think it's crazy that Ohio State started out number 1, although it does kind of make sense because they won the national championship last season. But Penn State, though, they shouldn't have never been here, seeing as where they're sitting right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, Penn State. I've been saying since this past summer that I thought Penn State was a fraud, that James Franklin was a bad coach, that his coordinators were better than him. I never bought into the Penn State at the top of the Big Ten or in the national championship. That was me personally. You can go back on other shows that I've been on and predicted that. So, I mean, I never thought Penn State should be there. I would say that there's an argument that Miami should be number 1. If you look at the opponents that each team, them and Ohio State, have beaten.
Yeah.
So Miami beat Notre Dame, who at the time was ranked number 6. Then they had one FCS team they played, Bethune-Cookman, and they beat them. And then, and just to be clear, they beat Notre Dame 28-17. They beat Bethune-Cookman 52-3. Then they played South Florida, who was a G5 team, but one of the better G5 teams this year, and they beat them by 20 points, 41-21. Then they played Florida, an SEC team, and beat them by a touchdown. 3 of those teams were ranked in the top 25 at the time that Miami beat them. Notre Dame was ranked number 6. South Florida was ranked number 18, and Florida was ranked number 22. So 3 of the 4 teams that Miami played have beaten so far were top 25 at the time that they played them. Ohio State, this is their record. So they played Texas, which was a top team at that time. But Texas has shown themselves to be not a great team this year. Arch has not had a good game all season. So I don't think that Texas win holds as much weight as we thought it would at the start of the season. So their other wins: Washington, unranked, they beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And then Minnesota, they beat 31-10. So Minnesota was ranked, or is ranked. I don't know if they're ranked right now, but so Minnesota's good. So Minnesota and Washington are the only other good teams, like Power 4 teams. They struggled with Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats from the MAC. who were unranked, and then they beat Akron, and they played Grambling State. So, if you ask me, beating Notre Dame, Bethune-Cookman, South Florida, and Florida is a stronger resume than Akron, Texas, Ohio, Washington, Minnesota, and Grambling State. Now, Ohio State's played 2 more games so far, or played 1 more game. I'm missing somebody from my notes here on Miami, but my point is that there's an argument. I think that a strong argument that Miami should be ranked number 1 based on strength of schedule and who they've played and margin of victory. I do think that Ohio State's probably the more talented team. But to this point, Carson Beck is a much better quarterback this year than Julian Sayin. And Miami just looks like a much stronger overall team, in my opinion. So I do think those two should be switched. Me personally, I picked Oregon to win the Big Ten to start the season. I think they're going to beat Ohio State this year. I think Oregon wins the Big Ten. I think they're a better team. But as of right now, I think that their place at 3 is probably spot on. I'm not so sure about the rest of the top 10. I think that, I mean, Ole Miss is good, but I think they have a ceiling. Texas A&M, I feel like is a little bit of fool's gold. Like, they're good, but I don't know if they're top 10.
Texas A&M is what I would call a bipolar team. Like, they win when they're not supposed to, and they lose when they're not supposed to. They're a very strange team. Yeah, and the fact that they're going 5-0 right now, that's insane, because normally that is how they go. Like, when they're playing a big team, they're like a team that you would assume they're gonna lose to. Like, for example, Notre Dame. You'd think they'd lose to Notre Dame, but no, they pull out a win in overtime with Notre Dame, which was crazy. Like, they've just been doing a lot of crazy stuff this season, and I'm definitely interested to see how they end the season out. If they're going to stay in the top 10, or if they're going to end up following the way of their older brother Texas and getting off the AP 25 altogether.
Yeah, I expect Texas A&M to stick around, but I expect them to finish the season probably like just outside the playoffs, like 13 to 17 range. I mean, they could make it. They're a good team. I'm not sold on them being a top team yet, and I might be wrong. But then, like, Oklahoma, I don't know, man. Like, maybe, but we don't even know if they're going to have Mateer for the biggest game of their season this weekend. So we'll see about that. And then, like, Indiana, I think they're losing to Oregon this weekend. Alabama, if you look on paper, I think, listen, I don't have a problem with Alabama, but like and this is sort of stealing a line from Joel Klatt. I watched Joel Klatt's thing earlier, but like on paper, Mizzou is a better team than Alabama right now. And so, like, is Alabama even going to beat Mizzou? They've already lost to Florida State. Are they even going to beat Mizzou? Yet they're ranked top 10 here. I don't know. I'm really uneasy about, or unconvinced about a lot of these top 10 teams.
Yeah, me too. Like the top 10 teams this season are teams that you definitely wouldn't have expected to be in the top 10. Like, I would never have expected Miami to be number 2 right now. I would have expected Oregon to be number 2. I definitely did not expect Oklahoma to be number 6. I figured they might be top 10 this season, but I did not think number 6. Texas A&M, complete wild card. Complete wild card. You look at last season to this season, this makes no sense at all. I agree. I think this number 5 spot here is a fool's gold. Like, if you're looking at Texas A&M expecting great things, I think you're probably going to be disappointed, but I can also be proven wrong. Texas A&M has been proving me wrong all season. I've expected them to have at least 2 losses by this point, and they're sitting undefeated at 5-0. That's crazy, to me at least. Right. Indiana, I definitely think they're going to lose to Oregon. I think if they lose to Oregon, I think they drop down to 10. I think Georgia moves up as long as they win their game this weekend. If they're playing this week, I don't remember who's all on bye this week. We'll see it here in a second.
Indiana's playing at Oregon this week.
Oh yeah, then Oregon's definitely going to remain undefeated. Indiana's going to get their first loss.
Well, I mean, there's people that are picking Indiana to win, And so,
We'll look at that
know.
right after we're done with this portion, because I have the top 25 schedule up for this weekend. Then Alabama, I did not expect Alabama to hit the top 10 again. I figured after they lost and they dropped down, I didn't think they were going to ever make it back to the top 10. They surprised me. Like, on paper, they got a great team. I don't think that they have the best coaching, but they have a great team. And I think that's kind of been what's making up for their for that is the fact that their team is good. But I don't think they're going to stay in the top 10. I think they're going to drop down.
Right.
Texas Tech, I don't know enough about Texas Tech to know if they're supposed to be up here or not, but my gut says they're not supposed to be. My gut tells me that A&M and Tech are both in the wrong place. Georgia is understandable, the top 10, although I don't think they should still be in the top 10. But it's hard to really make a good argument for any of the other teams below them to be moved up, because I mean, LSU had an embarrassing loss and has been struggling all season. Like, they've been kind of just eking out wins on teams, so it's been kind of hit or miss for LSU. So it's hard to say that they go to 10 over Georgia, because I mean, Georgia did their one. I don't remember who their loss was to, but I know Tennessee's loss was to Georgia, and that was a knockout dragout game. If you seen it, like, Tennessee was dominating Georgia, and then Georgia just ended up coming back, and it was a great game to watch, and it definitely makes sense. I think honestly, if we're going to switch something, LSU goes to 12 and Tennessee goes up to 11. I think that would correct this list entirely. Georgia Tech, I don't know. I'm surprised to see them on here. One team that is surprised to see on here is South Florida. South Florida is a surprise to see.
Well, like I said earlier, South Florida is one of the top G5 teams this year.
Oh, for sure.
That's why the Miami win over them is more impressive than, say, Ohio State beating Ohio,
right,
or Grambling State.
Yeah, I mean, it's just surprising to see a G5 team even on this list at all. Like, that does kind of surprise me.
Well, I mean, South Florida's G5, Memphis is G5,
right? I mean, normally it's just the power teams you see on here, so it's kind of refreshing to see other teams get a chance at potentially making it into a playoff spot. I mean, I don't think that.
I mean, we had two
G5 teams make it there, but
we had two G5 teams make the playoffs last year. It's not that it's becoming more common.
I wasn't looking at the G5 teams, but it is surprising to see some of those teams on here. That's for sure. Now, one team I know some of you may have noticed isn't on this list that was on most of the other previous lists. If you can spot what doesn't fit, you'll realize it's Texas. Texas dropped off the top 25. They are no longer in the top 25 at all.
Neither is Notre Dame.
Actually, Notre Dame's 16.
Oh, I thought they dropped out too. Hold on. Who was the other team that dropped out? There were two. There were two top teams that dropped out this week.
I'll pop back to week 16 here.
There were two teams that dropped out of the top. I thought it was Texas and Notre Dame.
Texas and Penn State.
Texas and Penn State. That's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah, Penn State's gone.
My bad, Notre Dame fans. I got mixed up there.
I mean, you don't have to say that just yet, because there's still time for Notre Dame to be. Notre Dame shouldn't even be on here, honestly. That kind of a record. What are they doing here? 3-2. Get out of here. You shouldn't even be on. You shouldn't even be 16. Notre Dame should be here. If they're in the top 25 at all, they should be 25. 25 or 24. They can go in either one of those positions. That's where they fit. There's no way they should be 16. I get that they have the points for it, but yeah, no, they should not be 16 at all. They are not a ranked 16 team this season. I'm sorry, Notre Dame fans. I know that might ruffle your feathers a little bit, especially those who swear fealty to what's his name, Marcus Freeman, and the Freeman era of Notre Dame. But y'all ain't a ranked 16 team. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
agree.
yeah, but yeah, Texas is off the top 25, and so was Penn State after both their losses this past week. So that's the AP top 25 shakeup. We're gonna move on now to the week 7 preview. Preview of the top 25, the games from the top 25 for this week. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. Not really the schedule, but the list of the games that are being played. I wish I could put these in order. But so we got, first of all, we got South Florida and North Texas. I don't think, I mean, we probably don't have to look at. We'll focus in on the top 10 games. So Ohio State, Illinois. Ohio State's. Do they give Illinois a 14-point favorite over Ohio State right there? Is that what that says?
No. If when it says minus, that's the favorite. So
Oh, okay.
Ohio State is a 14 and a half point favorite on the road at Illinois.
Okay. I see how they read this now. So then Alabama would be a 3-point favorite for.
Right, because if you were to bet on Illinois, you could bet Illinois plus the points, meaning that you get Illinois and you get spotted 14 and a half points. So if Illinois loses, but they lose less than 14 and a half points, you would still win the bet.
Okay, I follow you. So I think Ohio State's winning this game easy. Alabama and Mizzou. What do you think of that one?
So I want Alabama to win, but it's hard to deny, like what I mentioned earlier that Joel Klatt said. If you look at it on paper, roster to roster, top to bottom, side by side, and their resume to this point in the season, it's hard to deny that Mizzou has the better team on paper. That said, I still would pick Alabama to win. What's the? I can't see the point. I gotta.
It's a 3-point. Alabama's a 3-point favorite.
Okay, so yeah, I would still take Alabama, and I would probably bet against the spread there that Alabama would win by more than 3. But it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot closer of a game than a lot of people are giving it credit for.
You know, for me, I want Mizzou to win so it can knock Alabama out of the top 10.
You know what would be funny is if Mizzou wins, just so that we can look and say they let Bo Perbula, the quarterback at Missouri, walk at Penn State to keep Drew Aller, and now look at him.
So now we're moving down the list. Let's look at Indiana, Oregon. Right now, Indiana's a 7-point. Oregon's a 7-point favorite to win.
Yeah, I think Oregon wins outright.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people like Curt Cignetti, and he's good. He's a great evaluator of talent, but I don't think he has what it takes to beat the top teams. And I've been saying since this past summer that I thought Oregon was still the top team in the conference. So I don't think they're beating Oregon at Oregon.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, they struggled when they played us at home last season. I mean, they still won, but it was still a struggle for them. So, I don't think this season going to Oregon, they're going to have much of a chance to really have a chance at a win there. I think Oregon's just too good of a team, and they're well coached. I don't think Indiana is going to be able to hang out in Washington not Washington, hang out in Oregon.
No. This game is going to be really good though, because in my opinion, you've got probably two of the top 5, maybe even top 3 quarterbacks in the country.
Right.
I think Dante Moore to this point has played like the best quarterback in the country for Oregon, and I think Fernando Mendoza, the guy that transferred from Cal to Indiana.
Right.
I think he's probably top 5 at least, maybe more, maybe better. I think that overall Oregon's got the better team, but it's going to be fun to watch those 2 quarterbacks duke it out in that game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this will be a good game regardless. But one thing you also you forgot about is Cignetti. he wins. Google him.
I'll be honest. No disrespect to Signetti because he does back up his trash talk. I'll take Dan Lanning over Signetti.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
will.
Like I think Dan Lanning's just more of an entertaining coach than Signetti.
Right.
That's in my opinion at least. But yeah, I definitely am gonna agree with the spread here and say that Oregon's definitely got it. Next one, we can talk about Notre Dame, NC State. I don't think that's important. What is important here is the Oklahoma versus Texas in the Red River Rivalry. I think that's
So this one, I don't know, man. I mean, everything's looking like they're gonna put Mateer out there.
yeah.
So I'm that makes me ironically less confident in Oklahoma, and this is why. So I think Texas is not good this year with Arch Manning, and that's surprising because they have really good really good players on the team. Oklahoma's backup quarterback, Hawkins, he started for half the season last year. I would trust him personally to be able to go into this game this weekend and be able to get a win because he's at least an experienced starting quarterback. The fact that they are going to push Mateer out there potentially before he's ready, first of all, it tells me that they're seeing something from Hawkins that's troubling, that they think that they feel they need to push Mateer out there early. But also, how good is his hand? Because I don't know. I putting him out there with a bum hand that may not be fully healed from surgery just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. So the fact that they're willing to do that, and that they feel they need to do that, gives me more pause about Oklahoma than I would have if they were just sending Michael Hawkins. I think it's Michael Hawkins. I think that's his name. But Hawkins out there to start the game. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of odd that they're trying to push Mateer out there early. It does kind of make me think that maybe they just don't see that kind of a talent out of Michael Hawkins, which, I mean, he's done all right, but he really hasn't played a big game yet to really know how he's going to do. I know a lot of the Sooner fans are going to be, I know English. I know a lot of the Sooner fans will say that any quarterback they have is a good quarterback. That's kind of a thing. Like they thought that not Dylan Gabriel. They thought that Jackson Arnold was good until he wasn't. And then so I mean, it's really hard to tell. But like when you actually look at Michael Hawkins play, I think he did all right in the game he played. I definitely don't think they necessarily have to force Mateer out there as early as I think they have to, unless the coaching staff is seeing some signs that worry them coming out of Hawkins for this that might play to their detriment into this rivalry game. But it does kind of worry me putting Mateer out there so early because, like, if he's not fully ready, he's gonna not play his best, and after that injury, he still may not play his best. So it honestly might be better. They might be better off rocking with Hawkins for the Red River game, just so that way they already have a quarterback that's ready to go, not just coming off of injury. I mean, I know they've had him out on the practice field. Practicing with the team, making passes and whatnot in that anticipation for putting him in for the Texas game. But I don't think they need to put Mateer in for the Texas game. I don't think that Arch Manning's that big of a threat to warrant them having to use their best guy to oppose him on the opposite side of the ball. But it is also a rivalry game. They want to put their best foot forward to make the show as grand as possible, as all rivalry games tend to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I will say, I think there's Oklahoma, I believe, is the favorite to win It's a +1. I think that means I don't remember if that means Oklahoma or Texas.
So it's saying that Oklahoma. Okay, so it's saying Oklahoma's a 1-point favorite, but anything less than a field goal is basically Vegas saying it's a toss up. We're just going to give the slight edge to the home team, but it's really a toss up game.
Okay, so they're even,
And
basically.
in those games, like literally, you can bet either side and basically win the same amount.
All right, so yeah, so they're setting the Red River up as an even spread. So I'm gonna say I honestly think Vegas is wrong on this one. I'm gonna give Oklahoma a little bit more of the edge on this one because of how they've been playing all season. They've looked like a really good team throughout the season. They haven't really struggled too much with a lot of the teams they've played, unlike Texas, who has 2 losses already. I mean, one was to Ohio State, but still they have 2 losses. Arch Manning is not living up to the Manning name this season. I think they put him in way too early, but you have to put him in at some point, and I think this is going to be
The
his
Texas
worst.
fans were calling for him to be put in last year over Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, and now they're calling for him to get replaced.
Yeah. Well, and I think that we all kind of dismissed it when Peyton and someone else from the Manning family came out before the start of the season and basically said that they weren't looking at him going to the NFL after the season. That should have told us something there. We all
Right.
just kind of dismissed it though, and that's I think that's playing out in front of
I mean,
us.
yeah, you definitely see it. Like you can see like spurts of Manning in him, but for the majority of the time, I mean, I think he's honestly just a bust for Texas this season. I think they're going to want to be looking at their guys they're bringing in for the future seasons, and I don't remember who's sitting behind Arch right now, but yeah, I definitely don't think that they're going to be doing anything great this season, and they're going to end the season out mediocre. So I think their best bet is to start looking to next season and try to make some moves for that. Um, Now let's head on down to we got Michigan versus USC. I think that's a pretty good matchup right there. They got um, -2.5. Negative means for the road team, right?
Say that one more time.
If it's negative, that means it's for the road.
No, negative just means that they're favored.
The road is favored.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever team has the negative next to it is favored.
Okay, so they have USC favored at -2.5 points.
Right. And now, see, this is different. I've seen it on other boards where it's got Michigan at +2.5.
I'm assuming that it's Michigan because all of them it's always on the bottom.
Yeah, but some of them it's negative, some of them it's positive. So
Right.
the one with the
negative
negative
would
is
be
favored.
so the negative would be for USC being the favored.
Yeah, so that right there is basically saying that they think USC is going to win by 2.5 points or less. Basically saying toss up.
Right. So I honestly think Michigan. It's hard to tell. I know USC has the edge because Michigan historically hasn't done well on the West Coast, but I think that the way that USC has been playing this season, I think there's a good chance we'll see Michigan win. I guess it really depends on who's going to show up for the game. If we're going to get like week 3 Wink, or if we're going to get week 8 Wink. I think that's kind of what it comes down to.
Say that 10 times fast.
Right. And like if we're gonna let Chip Lindsey do Chip Lindsey things, or if we're gonna handicap him like we did against Oklahoma. If we're gonna let Bryce be Bryce, or are we gonna handicap him like we did against Oklahoma? I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. Like, how are we gonna play in this game? That's what we're gonna be looking at.
Here's my points for this game, and I didn't write this down like I should have, so I might be a little all over the place in going over this, but I think that they're gonna start the game by stacking the box. They're gonna bring the safeties down into the box. They're gonna dare us to throw. I think we need to go out and try to be a little bit aggressive with the pass and allow Bryce to take off and run if there's nothing open, but if he sees a hole, to take it. I think that if we do that successfully early on, then we can start to open up the box, make them have to respect the pass and Bryce's legs, keep a spy on him, keep the safeties out of the box, and that'll open up the running lanes for Justice Haynes. I also think that we should do a lot more running back rotation early in the game to soften up their defensive line with Jordan Marshall, and then really run Justice Haynes heavy as the game goes on, and we tire out their defensive line a little bit, hoping to get those big home runs from him. I think that we have to score early. This is not a game that Michigan can get behind by 2 scores and then try to come back on. USC has the ability and the way that their roster is constructed to be able to, pile on points on top of a team that they're ahead of. And our defense has got to come up with a answer for Makai Lemon. The last report that I saw was that Jacoby Lane, their other star receiver, is still questionable about coming back or not from his injury. And if he doesn't, that makes things a lot easier. I think if that's the case, we need to bracket Makai Lemon, same way we did Jeremiah Smith last year in the Ohio State game. We have to take him out of the play, and we can't. We have to be like spot on with our tackles. We cannot have broken sack attempts on Makai Lemon because he has the ability to run and create out of the backfield. Unlike any other quarterback that we played this year, we cannot have a situation like in Nebraska where we were getting hands on the quarterback but not taking him down. You get hands on him, you got to take him down. I do think Michigan can come away with the win, but it's going to be close, and we cannot let things get out of hand.
Yeah, I think that's something that Michigan really needs to lock down. Is we need to get that tackling form down, so we don't keep letting these guys slip through our grasp when we got them. Something we've been struggling with. I mean, we're getting better at it as the season progresses, but we definitely got to wrap them up. We got to hold them. We got to hold them down. Not holding to draw a holding call. You know what I mean? But we definitely have to get that form tackling down to limit the yards gained on each play. I mean, ideally, we want to cause them to lose yards, so we really want to try to work on those edges to get Jayshon Barham in, so he can live up to his unofficial nickname, Headhunter Barham, and get that quarterback. We gotta look to get the pressure in. We gotta keep him under pressure. Don't let him have time in the pocket. For the offense, we definitely need to try to get them to open it up a bit so we can start getting some rushing lanes going if they're going to be packing the box, which I think they're going to start off, because they know they're going to think that Bryce is we're going to be looking to pass more than we're going to be looking to run in this game. And I think looking to run more than we're going to be looking to pass in this game. So I think for sure they're going to follow Oklahoma's strategy of packing the box on us, and we definitely need to soften that up to open up the run game to get Justice Haynes out and get some yards on the ground. Because we are historically a run first team, and that's kind of where our identity lies. And if we can establish that on USC, that's going to be our key to victory over them. I mean, that's kind of a key to victory in almost any game, is to establish the run game. But the fact that this season we do have a quarterback who can throw, unlike last season where we had a quarterback who could hand it off kind of in a mediocre fashion half the time, but it was good enough to beat Ohio State, and I think that's what's important from an important takeaway from last season. Regardless, in this English, I keep forgetting my train of thought.
Listen, we need to stop the slander of the Buckeye killer, the Michigan legend, Davis Warren. Davis Warren, by the way, is now back to throwing at practice and could be active on the roster depth chart soon. So we need to stop that slander. He did amazing last year. He led us to a victory over Ohio State. He led us to a victory over Michigan State. He led us to a victory over Minnesota, over Northwestern, every one of our rivals, and led us for most of the game through the second victory of the year over Alabama. So let's not slander Davis Warren's name on the show.
I mean, I'm just happy that this season we have a quarterback who can throw it down the field. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, no disrespect on Davis Warren, respectfully, as the Maze Madman would say, but I'm happy we have a quarterback who is good at all facets of the game. He can run. He can block too. That's something that's we haven't seen since JJ. He can pass the ball. He can throw the ball farther than 25 yards. Yeah, I mean it's going to be an interesting game. I look forward to watching it. We might do a live watch party for it. I'm not entirely sure. It takes place at 6:30 p.m. So we'll see.
For what game?
We'll see. What was that?
For what game?
For the Michigan USC game.
I mean, I'm planning on doing a watch along.
Okay, so there you have it. Make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell on so you don't miss that. So with that being said, the games that are going on this weekend, which would you say? Which I guess we'll say top two. Which two would you say would be the marquee matchups of this weekend? The top two matchups of this weekend.
Let me think for a second. I mean, I definitely think Oregon, Indiana. That's two top 10 teams with two of the top quarterbacks in the country. So that's one that I definitely want to watch.
Playoff implications if one loses.
Right. And then, I mean, there's not really a lot of other like top tier games. I mean, Michigan, USC, obviously, but I'm a little bit biased as a Michigan fan. I do think if Michigan wins this game, that they've pretty much control their own destiny to be able to get into the playoffs. Because even if we win this game, and then even if we do lose to Ohio State, which I don't think we will, but even if we did, we'd still be 10-2, and I still think we get into the playoffs. So as long as they don't fumble to a team that they're not supposed to lose to, a la Penn State or Notre Dame, I think that we do get into the playoffs. So that it's interesting in that regard. I mean, the Red River Rivalry. You know what? Let's call it what it is. The Red River Shootout. I don't care that they had to change the name for PC stuff. It's gonna be a fun game to watch, but like I don't think it's gonna live up to the hype because Arch isn't playing like Arch is supposed to. Oklahoma may or may not run Mateer or Hawkins, and if they run Mateer, it's not going to be a full strength Mateer. Right. So that takes a little bit away. I mean, I guess I would have to say the other top tier marquee matchups would be Bama and Mizzou and Ohio State or Illinois, but I mean, I don't think Illinois really has a chance to beat Ohio State, so I guess I would have to go with Alabama and Mizzou as the other one that's kind of up in the air. Interesting to watch and see who wins.
I'm agree with you with the Indiana Oregon game being definitely the number one game for this weekend, other than obviously our bias, which it would be Michigan USC. But looking at it from an unbiased standpoint, Indiana Oregon definitely be one of the top games for this weekend. I'd say number one for this weekend. I'm going to go a different route though. You said Bama Mizzou. I'm actually going to go down here. We're going to go LSU South Carolina. And
yes, but there's a lot of injuries there.
I agree, but part of why I say that is because while LSU is a 9-point favorite, if South Carolina manages to pull a victory out here, they knock down LSU quite significantly, and it boosts Michigan up.
Yeah, so I would have favored LSU here, but they're reported by Pete Thamel on X, at least. I'm sure elsewhere as well. Right. Their leading receiver, Aaron Anderson, is still considered doubtful to come back from his knee injury against South Carolina. I like LSU. I like South Carolina actually too. There's a lot of players on both teams that I do like there.
Right.
I just feel like it's a lot of underachieving. Like Lenore Sellers, I know he's been nagged by injuries, but I told you before the start of the season that I thought he was the QB to watch this year in college,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's necessarily been bad, but he hasn't lived up to the hype. Um,
Right.
Nick Harbor has never lived up to the hype. I just don't think he cares about football that much. Dylan Stewart's good, but he's streaky. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he disappears.
Big.
Garrett Nussmeyer has not lived up to his preseason billing this year in real life, or in real time. Excuse me. He just doesn't look like the top quarterback that he was supposed to be returning to LSU for this year. The LSU's an incredibly talented team. I'm not really that high on their coaching staff. I take it back. I like their offensive coordinator, Joe Sloan. Not a big fan of Brian Kelly. And with going in missing, one of their top targets, and their top target leads the team in Aaron Anderson. I don't know, man. It's like a lot of the marquee matchups are just it feels like they're less than what they are supposed to be because of injuries and outside factors.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but I mean, I would mark LSU in South Carolina as one just because of the implications of an upset in that game if South Carolina wins. That has huge implications on the top 25. It could potentially knock LSU off the top 25 if they lose. It could put South Carolina on the top 25 if they win. It could also boost other teams up if LSU loses. It's a huge gamble going into that game on what's going to happen by the end of it. Um, that's kind of been the staple of this season as a whole. It's been a crazy season, like not even just in the college, but in the NFL. Like everything has been just insane. Like things like you wouldn't expect a lot of the wins that have occurred on both pros and in the college and the collegiate level. Like there has just been a lot of upsets, a lot of wild happenings occurring within the stage of college football as a whole. Like this entire football season, it's just been one crazy roller coaster.
Yeah, I just like it'll be fun. Like I'm gonna watch the games tomorrow, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong a little bit in the like what in my concerns for the weekend.
Right.
But and some of these games surprise me and sort of play above what I'm predicting. I just have trouble seeing a lot of it through the injuries and the some of the stuff that just the underperforming players that we've seen to this point this year.
Right. Well, I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen over this weekend. I think it's definitely a great weekend for football as a whole. Um, Definitely look forward to seeing that Michigan USC game. I'm gonna probably also watch the Oklahoma Texas and probably the LSU South Carolina game. Probably flip between Michigan and the South Carolina game, or have them both up side by side. Um, yeah, I mean this weekend's gonna be an interesting weekend for sure for college football, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
With
same.
that being said, I think that's about all the time we got for today. Unless you got something else you want to cover before we get out of here.
No, I think we've covered everything we need to tonight, and I would just say, for if people want to tune in for the Michigan watch along tomorrow, there
Yep.
will be no Vikings watch along as this is their bye week, so there'll be no watch along on Sunday unless you want to do one for another game.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to because I'll be out of town. But yeah. So I guess before we get out of here, go ahead and let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yeah, so I mean, just as usual, you can always catch me on any social media platform at Kinetik615. If you search Kinetik615 and can't find me, it's because I'm not on that platform. But I try to answer back anytime someone sends me a message. You can catch me here on the Gamer Sideline on YouTube. I've also got my own two channels, Kinetik615 where I'll sometimes do sports talk or do the watch-alongs. I also have a gaming channel, Kinetik 615 Plays. I do a Saturday morning show over on the Final Whistle Network on YouTube with my guys Lucian and Mike Alibaba over there, just previewing the day's games ahead of the noon kickoff. And then, just the watch-alongs. And then if people get a chance, check the description of the video. It's also pinned on my social media profiles. Check out the GoFundMe link in the description. Take a look at it. If you're able to help or donate, by all means, any amount matters and is appreciated. And even if you can't donate, just sharing the link out so that others might be able to see it helps a ton. So I appreciate anyone that takes the time to look at that.
Absolutely. And as for me, you can find me at LichMax626 on all platforms. If you can't get along with Kinetik here, if you search for LichMax626, you don't find me, I'm not there yet. But and then you can also find me right here on the Gamer Sideline every Friday between for Football Fridays. And then you can also find me on Mondays over at the Maze Madman channel, where I produce Maze Out Mondays and I host the Lich Picks segment. So make sure you check that out. And also right here, make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe with the notification bell on so you do not miss a single upload or live that we do. We're also over on Spotify. So if you don't have time to watch the video, but you have time to listen, then go ahead and check us out over on Spotify as well. I upload as soon as we are done here. I usually try to get it up within about an hour or so. I did forget last week's, but that's going up right as soon as we're done here. So we'll have 2 episodes this week going up on Spotify, one from last week and then this one. So I guess without further ado, make sure that you cheer loud, play harder, and we'll see you right here next time on the Sideline.
From joystick dreams to Friday night lights, it's controllers and cleats under podcast mics with Life Max dropping deep like he's throwing a bomb, and Kinetik calling audible, staying calm in the storm. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Leash Max, never miss a beat. When the final whistle blows or the credits roll, we're signing off strong, that's how gamers take control. Catch us on the sideline, where legends chill, where the playbooks flip and the passion's real. If you heard the takes, then you know the drill. Till next time, fam, keep it clutch, keep it skill. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Lich Max, never miss a beat. When the headset's off and the lights go low, we'll be back next game, y'all already know. We out.